Right, is that about there? Right. Hi, welcome to the stream. So today it's Man City versus Sheffield United. A little bit of a technical fault there again, sorry. So it's Man City who's top of the league and they're taking on Sheffield United that's sitting bottom of the league. Sheffield United come off a win against Manchester United, who play against Arsenal today, and Man City have a game in hand at the top of the league. I believe their run, if they win today, it can be 5 points clear, and if Man United do win today, they'll close the gap back to 2 points. So just to get up the teams, so as we see there, we've got the Man City starting lineup here going across the bottom of your screen. And today your stream is brought to you by myself, Colin, and Graham is going to come in. Graham! Here comes Graham. When he appears. And we'll close that down. Is it working okay?
It's working okay.
Perfect. So as I said, without further ado, here's Graham. We're just making sure, because I did start doing the live stream and I hadn't pressed go live. So I was talking to myself for a second there, which is quite embarrassing. I'm going to take that off just now because obviously things are not working too well. So yeah, so Colin and Graham. So we're here today to watch it. So looking at the team sheet, Man City don't have Kevin De Bruyne because he's still out, and Aguero is out because he's self-isolating. But I think that Man City have just enough in their team to comfortably beat Sheffield United. So I'm going for a prediction. Looking at how Sheffield played against Man United, 3-1 Man City.
I'm going to make a surprise. I'm going with
This is cover.
2-1 Sheffield United.
2-1 Sheffield. Well, if they play like they played against Man United, they've got a chance, to be honest. Can they do it against Man City? It's more difficult.
I don't think so either, but I do like an underdog to win, so why not?
So just checking how the volume is at the moment. As I say, I was on there. I was speaking to myself for the past 5 minutes. Then I remembered that what I've done is I had installed an extension, as I've done that here, and I hadn't moved it, so I couldn't press this. I couldn't see the go live. So because I could see myself, but I didn't click that it says preview, rather than going. I was speaking for ages, and I went, oh no, but. I would like to say a big thank you to everybody who's contributed. So a big thank you goes out to John Donaldson. Honestly, if he's watching, thanks John. You've contributed enormously, and everybody else, you've done well as well. You've helped us.
I thought you said that you're going to do a few. That's only one.
Aye, but it's like keeping to 100, isn't it? 1, 2, miss a few, and then 99, 100.
Yeah, but when you say a few's not one, a few's two. Just the same.
Aye, but
I'm just saying.
any time that I say to Ian watches it for a few minutes and then he goes, I don't even like football, and then he gets bored and he turns it off. So
I just like football, but he likes when Rangers win. So he's one of these people when they're top of the league, he supports them when they know or with no watching it.
That's it. I actually remember going to his house one time. So it was when he stayed with his parents. This was back in the day. This was like 1999. This is when I don't even know if it was Santana Sports or maybe before Santana. So we're in his house and his auntie had this box. So she was paying for it legally. But I think let's just say it was. Sorry, Cola's quite gassy. So let's just say it was Santana. Right?
Okay.
So he's sitting in his house and his mum and stepdad's went, oh no, we'll get the game, we'll watch the game. And it doesn't matter who's Rangers fans or Celtic fans here, right? This is what he says. We'll get the game. So one part of the family was either Rangers fans or Celtic fans, right? They'd get the box round, so they take it from the house and take it into the house and they plug it in. And I swear to God, see by the time that they'd plugged it in, Celtic were winning 3-0. Because that was when Celtic scored 3 goals in 10 minutes.
What game was this on?
Oh, that was when they won 5-1, I think. It was 1998 to it was it was between 1998 and 2003.
Because I can.
Oh, it was. So trying to plug it all in, and they plugged it all in, and they went. Rangers are getting beat 3-0. With missed all the goals.
The one that I can remember was Celtic won 6-2, and Henrik Larsson, if you can remember him, of course you can, chipped Stefan Klos. That is the first goal I can ever remember that Celtic ever scored.
Aye.
I can remember that game.
Aye, so when it comes to Ian, if it's Rangers, it's fine. Any other game, he's not interested. So I would say thank you, Ian, but let's be honest. After a few seconds, you'll turn me off anyway. But yeah, I just thought I'd tell you a story as we're waiting on the game coming up.
This bit always takes forever to start with all the adverts.
So the game is on Sky Sports. So it's meant to be a Sky Sports main event, but when we connected to it, it says it was a Wolves game.
Wolves v Crystal Palace, I'm sure it was.
I said that on Wednesday night, or whenever Sheffield United played Man U. I love that top. I'm actually thinking about buying that. I'm thinking about buying it. I like it.
You could, but then what's the point?
I just like it. It'd be good for a couple of streams.
I'm sure mine's got a pink one. If you
died
the witness with it.
Well, I've got that top, but it's too small now. Oh, that actually reminds me. Actually, on the back of that top, it's got Alexis Sanchez on it.
I don't remember him.
But did you see? I don't know if you've seen it or not. This is why it's relevant. Did you see that Inter Milan are trying to swap Alexis Sanchez for a different player? They're trying to put him out on loan so they can get somebody else on loan.
No.
Honestly, I just look at it and go,
but whatever happened to him?
Exactly. He was so good when he played in the Spanish. He played okay at Arsenal. Now it's kick off to it's Man City in possession. I just think, whatever happened to him? And he's done so. I think he's done really well at Inter Milan, but they're trying to put him out on loan, which is I just seen it that day. Then I went.
But then they tried to get rid of Ericsson on a 6 months because he only 6 months left on his contract, and then because they scored against AC Milan, they said that he's not going anywhere.
Scored the winning goal. Aye, that was some game though. Lukaku and Ibra. I didn't know, right, and I could be wrong here because I just seen it on Twitter.
Let me interrupt. You forgot to put the team lineup on it.
Oh right, yeah, I thought I put them up. I thought I pressed it. I'm positive I pressed it.
You may have, but it's not shown.
Ticket, nah. See, hasn't it?
Yes, it's just not shown on our end.
I'll press play again.
Just getting this sorted for yourself. Unless it is fixed, but not shown on our end for some reason.
Nah, it wouldn't be if it's.
Because it is shown on that screen.
Oh, I know what it's not. There you go.
There we go.
I forgot to press 2. I came out. I forgot to do as well because I was too busy talking about.
You forgot to start the clock.
I'll do it now.
We turned that during the first match as well, so.
Because I was talking. So I didn't know, right, that Lukaku says a few choice words and he says, "I will you," and "I'll your wife." Which I think, whatever you think of that, but apparently Ibra's a black belt in Taekwondo, and you just think Ibra is not only a lion, he would absolutely maul him. You're thinking, why are you saying those things?
It would be quite funny to see him in the fight because Lukaku's got the power, he's got the strength, but Ibra's got the flexibility and also the black belt in Taekwondo. So
Man City have played. So there's been 10 games against these teams, and Man City have won 6 of them.
I thought they would have won.
And there was 3 draws. which means it was 2 wins to Sheffield United.
Well, see, my prediction could be correct. 2-1 Sheffield.
Right. Man City's on a winning run. They've in the last game they won 5-0 against West Brom, and as I mentioned earlier, Sheffield United won the last game 2-1 against Man United. I think it was a very lacklustre Man United that played them, to be honest. But look, a win's a win, and you can't take that away from them.
What I
They
seen
set
from
up
that
and played
game,
well.
it was a piss poor Man U.
Do you know, there's a lot of games getting played in it, and you've got to look at it and go, right, you've got to... I seen this argument that I did, it's only because we're just talking about stuff while we're watching the game. Somebody was saying that James Milner is not good enough to play for Liverpool, and I said on my private account, give me a shout and I'll send you on my Twitter. On that, I was saying, look, James Milner may not play game in, game out, he may only get 15 games per season, but he's definitely good enough to still play at a top level if he gets the rest in between. Liverpool do not have a midfield that is good enough to keep him out of the team game after game.
Would that not make him an impact sub?
No, I wouldn't say so, because
I would say so.
No, I know what you're saying, but I think he's an impact player, because if you're a sub, you're coming on in the 50th minute or 60th minute. But I think Milner's got the 60 minutes in him that he could play from beginning until either end, depending on the game, or play from minute 1 until minute 65 and do a good job.
I would keep him as impact as sub, because he makes an impact when it comes on. I don't think he's good enough to start from minute 1 to 90th.
No. That's so. Thank you.
Last season, then yes, this season no.
But so the reason I bring him up is he played for Man City, and also we're watching the Man City game now, and Man City got shot of him because they thought he wasn't good enough. Because they had like Yaya Toure, and they had amazing players in midfield. Toure, and no player's going to replace Toure in that squad, because Toure was the best player in midfield 2014 season, I think it was.
Back in the day.
Toure is amazing. But anyway, and they had a lot of other players within the squad, so there was no one that was going to take those players out. So Man City decided, right, we'll get James Milner, taking off the wage bill. Now, what's interesting is if you look at it, Liverpool at the time were sitting around 6th average season to season, so they weren't title contenders. So you think, do you know what? I can sell them to Liverpool, and it's not going to make much of a difference.
Got one of free transfer, I'm sure.
Do you think perhaps during that period when Liverpool started winning Champions Leagues and started competing before they won the league, that they may have regretted selling him to what became a rival?
Well, it didn't sell him, it got a free transfer, and also it wasn't because of him. His influence helped, but it was because of Jurgen Klopp and the players that he brought in, players that you wouldn't think would be any good, like Mohamed Salah was at Chelsea, had done nothing. He came back to Liverpool and now he's one of the best right wingers. So I would say it was because of Jurgen, not because of James Milner.
I would say that he was instrumental though.
His experience helped, but I wouldn't say it was. Because even if it didn't get James Milner, I think Liverpool would still be as good as what they were.
Well, but we've seen that. I mean, we're only mentioning this because it does come. It is players that play for Man City or stuff, so it is relevant. So we see that with Jordan Henderson. He's not played for Liverpool in the past few games, and where Liverpool attack, and they've got Jordan Henderson sitting here to then sit in the midfield to then allow Robertson or Arnold to attack, and he sits in this wee hole here and he can help out on the way back. He's not there, and we see Liverpool are quite open now from that position.
He has played, because he played against Man U, the first one at the 0-0.
I'm talking about the past couple of weeks though.
That was this couple of weeks.
Is he injured?
Yeah, but that's couple of weeks. He did play.
Well, when he played, there was a game he wasn't playing because he was injured. But so we've got Aguero. Is it his contract? Is it up at the end of the season?
His contract,
who was it I seen? Zeko. That was it, Zeko. Zeko has been rumoured to perhaps be a target for West Ham. But what I've also seen is he says that he wants to go back to Man City. Now, when he went to Roma, he done amazing. I am a big fan of Zeko. I've liked Zeko well before he came to Man City. Prior, I don't think he's the answer.
Of course he's not. His age and what he can do is completely changed. When he first came to Man City, he was young, he was a target man, he could do this and he could maybe last the whole 90 minutes. Now, I wouldn't say that he was anywhere near the standard that Man City needs.
Oh, he's going to score! Oh, he scores!
Is that offside? No. Goal stands.
Goal stands. So it came from a mistake by the goalkeeper there. So we need to see the replay to see exactly what happened, but that was a mistake from
Ramsdale was in goal.
Ramsdale, just going to say Ramsdale. He had a fantastic game, by the way, against Man U. So the balls came over. It's been a really bad header by the Sheffield United player to try and clear it. It's fallen to Man City, and Gabriel Jesus went to his feet. It was a little bit stuck, but he's had time to get it away from his feet, and then he's popped it in the back of the net.
Sure, if you were a centre back, you'd be marking him more tightly.
Because he's sitting there himself, and look, he takes a good second to get the ball in his feet, under control, and then he shoots. So the goalkeeper's went like this because he thinks he's going to shoot, and he's got it fixed in his feet, and then he's dived to the left.
According to the clock, he just had over 2.5 seconds just to get it out. So
that's his third goal of the season. It's a bit remembered.
He's not been scoring much this season at all.
A bit remembered.
But do you think he's a long-term replacement for Aguero?
Nah. Gabriel Jesus to me is a number 9, or he's a shadow striker. He's not an out-and-out striker. An out-and-out striker to me is a Cavani. And we'll speak about Cavani and Martial on the next game. The Manchester United versus Arsenal. But for me he's not. For me, I think of an out-and-out striker is Ian Wright, is Alan Shearer, is Cavani, is Harry Kane, who's also out for a couple of weeks. Don't know if you've seen it. He's injured his ankle. There was 2 bad challenges in his previous game that's pretty much put him out for a good 2-3 weeks.
I did see that he was subbed off, but I didn't know he was injured.
It was too bad. They weren't bad tackles, but there were 2 tackles on him that did hurt him. So he's off injured. I'm going to sneeze.
But who's the replacement for Kane at Tottenham? I can't think of anyone.
Is Troy Parrott out in loan? I'm sure he is.
I'm pretty sure he's at Millwall, or was that last season?
I need to double check, but that would be a fantastic time for him to come in.
But then he did come in the last season and he missed a penalty, so I wouldn't say that he was ready for the English as of yet. He's a hot prospect, but he's not ready.
Troy Parrott.
He could still be there, but I'm pretty sure he joined Millwall.
So this is what we're saying there. There's somebody. What does this article say? So even it says there that Jose Mourinho's trying to look at a potential. So he's looking at a recall for Troy Parrott. So see, we do keep up with stuff. It was because I remembered. That's a good. I was thinking I hurt my foot there when I moved that there. I need to remember that I broke my foot, so I can't really move it too much. That was really sore.
That was funny to watch.
No, it was
went down like a sack of ties.
Well, let's not dwell on that too much, because anyway. But I just moved there and I felt it. But it's the second time I've broken it, because the last time I broke it when I was playing football.
Well, here's the thing: drink more milk and it would be.
But then I'm lactose intolerant, and I remember.
I remember that.
Folk don't like me drinking milk because it smells. But anyway.
No, I can still remember the elevator.
The elevator. We went to go and. Well, just to give some context here, we went to the hospital on a personal matter, and I can do it on cue. So I went to the elevator, It'd been quite a sad day. So we decided to. I decided. So once we got in the elevator and the doors were closing, I farted and he tried to get out. He couldn't get out. It was stinking.
We went down one floor, or was it two? But it was horrendous.
It was bad. It was bad. It was real bad. But no, I mean, but when you do things like that, when you do
COVID.
things, I don't know. I didn't tell anybody why I'd been there.
I drank half.
But yeah, when you go through that sort of stuff, you've got to make light of it. So here's Man City back in the attack. See, this is what Sheffield United were doing really well when they played Man United. They kept their shape and they played really well.
But if you notice, when Sheffield United plays Man U, Sheffield United always got Man U backed up in a corner, except for that one match that Man U won 3-0. But the last match they played in 2020, Sheffield United got beat 3-2, but it could have quite easily been 4-3 to Sheffield United easily. I've actually hurt my foot again. See, when I've been sitting, because I was sitting like this with my foot like this, it's really sore. Really sore. This is why when I've been working from home, I've been sitting or lying on the bed with my foot elevated. But anyway, do you want me painkillers?
I can't because I've had too much cola.
And how does that affect your painkillers?
Because I'll be gassy.
I actually think I'm coming down with something.
Oh, I didn't ever saying that.
Ah, well, you got a broken leg, so you'll be the first one to catch
fine.
it.
It's my foot.
Foot, leg.
Same thing. But yeah, so here's Man City back in the attack, and is this offside? No. That's what I was going to say. There's a game.
Put it this way, right? See if I steal your wheelchair, who comes crawling back?
Me. Without saying too much, I think Mum has to go in a wheelchair, but anyway, that's just by the by.
I'll ask you more questions about that after. But just nothing.
Fulham's went ahead against, was that West Brom? I'm just going to make sure I can definitely.
The football score earlier, Newcastle v Everton, and Newcastle won 2-0. Who saw that one coming?
I didn't see it.
No, I didn't say if you saw it, I said who saw that score coming.
Nobody.
I thought Everton was going to walk it. But just shows that Everton's not as good as they once were at the start of the season. As everything seems to be working.
I'm just double checking to make sure I've got sound. Because the last time we done it for a whole half without knowing that we had no sound.
I can remember that. That
was a bad day. That was a bad day. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, right? We both work in IT, but we still have IT issues. As I say, I didn't know that I wasn't broadcasting because as I say, I just downloaded an extension, so when I didn't see it to go live. Thankfully, you've seen it before. Because I said a lot of things, and then I was like, "Is it working?" And he went, "No, it's not." I was like, "Oh, right, fair enough." So here's Man City. So here's
this game. I don't know about you, but it's been porn. Even the goal wasn't nothing to speak about.
I think the goal was very, very, very fortunate. So
it's mostly just midfield.
Right, so Man City have had 73% and have had 2 shots, but I think Man City were very, very fortunate because the Sheffield United player came like this, done a back header, and the other defender tried to clear it, and it fell to the Man City player who then got it, put it into Gabriel Jesus, who shouldn't have had 1 second or 2.5 seconds on the ball. He was able to control it and then put it in the back of the net.
I only know it's 2.5 because it actually got timed. Or I wouldn't have known that.
But I don't think he should have had that amount of time.
You shouldn't have that much time in the box. It doesn't matter if you're playing in the English, Spanish, or even the crappy Scottish football. You should never have 2 seconds in the box.
I don't get sponsored by Jack and Jones, but buy Jack and Jones. It's cheap.
cheap and cheerful.
I remember Jack and Jones used to be quite expensive for about 12 months, and then
And
it's
I can also remember I used to fit you.
It still fits me. If I didn't have a broken foot, it'd be even better. But anyway.
At least I can hit you and run away. You can't catch me now.
See, I was thinking though. I think see my sporting
Lisbon.
Sporting Lisbon. See my sporting
Spit it out.
No, I'm trying to think. It's no achievement, but see how far I could run in a race or a marathon.
Stamina.
Prior to breaking my foot, it's not been affected. I can still only run the same amount.
Aye, none.
None, exactly.
So as soon as you hear the current start off it, that's been knackered.
Done. And that's it. Aye, but that's the thing. Like, I've got a brand new bike, and I've not even been out in it. It's absolutely gutted. Do you know what? This is true. I went out that day there, and it was only just a tiny walk, and I was really.
Who's number 2 for Sheffield United?
Good defending there.
Because runs weird. He runs at that.
And I was only out a tiny bit, right? And I bumped into your cousin.
Oh, here we go.
And he looked at me. I went, I'm taking the bike for a walk. Because I was hoping that I could go on the bike and even go down the bits that are downhill. I couldn't even do that because it was just hurting my foot too much.
But
so, it was a waste of time.
So much for close family.
So it's sitting there in my hallway and I can't even use it. It's absolutely gutting.
But then
so anybody that knows me, like Ian, will be like, haha, that's funny, but it's not really.
If you think about it, it's not just that that's affecting it, it's also the weather that we've been having. It's been horrendous to try and go on the bike.
It's been terrible. I mean, that is not why I broke my foot, by the way, because that day was actually dry. That Monday was actually dry. It was because I was wearing Vapor Max. Do not buy Vapor Max.
And you went in a pothole.
Nah, I just everything like this and I broke it. But it was quite funny because when I broke it, I've landed on my left knee and my foot under my body, and I've just snapped it, and yeah, it was pretty bad.
And then right there, did the guy not come walking past him and are you alright?
Aye. Are you alright? I went, I thought to myself, I'm over 6 foot, I'm Scottish, I'm alright mate, I'm alright. Mate, my leg could have fell off and I still would have said I'm alright. But do you know that this is true? I went to try and get an appointment, and because of COVID restrictions, well, not because of restrictions, but because of being in the COVID ward, they were not wanting me to get an X-ray at all. I had to jump through so many hoops because they went to me and they went, nah, and then they went, we'll give you a video call, and then the guy seen it and he went, yeah, you can come up. So I was in there and back out within, I don't know, I was quick. And the nurse was like, I'm just back to the COVID ward. And she's like, alright, out.
Is that not what your missus say? You're in and out quick?
Something you can ask her, she's probably watching.
Is that what you say? You're in and out quick?
But that's what...
Comment.
But that's what... that's it. So this whole COVID thing, it's... It does restrict you quite a lot, because you're thinking that you can still go on with life and stuff, but there's times where they go, right, you need to get in and out, and I was in, because usually, because I've been in hospital before, and I've been in there for 3-4 hours, but I was in, triaged, x-rayed, out, that I was that quick because I'd been in a COVID ward. And she's like, and she actually goes to me, right, she goes, I was like, oh, my mum's upstairs and that, and she went, oh, right, and she sat back a bit and she went, right, here's your results, bye. And I was like, oh, thanks.
It's fine though, I've been tested, it's back negative.
Aye.
I've not caught it, I've definitely got something though, I can't stop coughing.
I've not got COVID either. And COVID's not a laughing matter because it's really serious. And the thing with COVID is the first symptoms and the first... COVID probably won't kill you, it's after effects.
Come on, Sheffield.
Kill you. But anyway, here's Sheffield United. Pass! Look, there's no doing him! And here's Foden away.
Who's number 7? Because he took forever on the ball.
That's a free kick.
That's play on.
No, come on, you've got to give a free kick. That's got to be a yellow card though.
Yeah, he might come back, but it's
Torres.
play on.
And it's Torres passing it back. Obviously there was an advantage, but look, Sheffield United have now got all their men back.
That's because Man City just stopped.
Exactly. Should have given the free kick.
But even if he took a free kick, Lopez would have been back anyway, so it doesn't make any difference.
It's actually really slow. Anyway.
I'll stop your whinging.
I'll stop mentioning it.
I can't feel a thing. Stop whinging.
Checked it the other day and see the bruising on it. Was terrible. Anyway.
Well, I might standard it so you got something to moan about.
Aye.
I might actually put it back into place.
Probably, to be fair. Here's Torres. Oh,
come on!
Right, cross it! Gabriel Jesus is there, but he's goal side. So if he gets the header, there's nobody marking him. He's got to get behind him, but really, here's yellow
card now.
But there's nobody marking him though, because he's got goal side and he can just header it in. You need to be a bit more wise.
Streetwise.
This is what I'm going to say, and please comment or whatever you want. I think that Dean Henderson had the Sheffield United defence in such a way that it was more compact and was better. Just now, I'm not saying it's all over the place because that's not entirely true, but I think when they had Dean Henderson, they played better as a unit. 4 at the back plus Dean Henderson, that's 5. I done maths one day. So
and you still got it wrong.
I still got it wrong. But I think that's a big part because that's why managers say we've got this goalkeeper here and we've got this goalkeeper here, and although this goalkeeper here might be better, we can't really play him because he doesn't know the defence and the defence don't know him, and they've got to communicate all the time.
That's what happened with Man U. After Edwin retired, they tried to replace him with Tim Howard and someone else, and they were always chopping and changing, and it didn't help. Even Gary Neville came out and said that didn't help them at all because each goalkeeper has their own version.
So we only see it when there's a free kick and the goalkeeper says to the wall, left a bit, right a bit, stand there. That's the only time we see it. But in actual fact, they're always communicating all game. And I think Dean Henderson not playing for Sheffield United this season has been a major loss because he helped. Because we see the back line there, right, and it's not looking too bad, but he's a major loss. I'm not saying he's better than Ramsdale. I'm not saying he's worse than Ramsdale. Oh, where? That was so close. That was almost back into the path of a Man City player.
But if you were Sheffield, would you not trying to get Henderson back on loan to end of this season? He's not getting enough of Man U. Man U still got
but he won't.
Romero.
Man U won't release him.
No, but even try and get Romero in as a emergency loan.
See, if I was Sheffield United, I swear. So there was a story that came out at the start of the season about Romero from his wife. I don't agree with girlfriends and wives saying this, but she says, look, he has given all this commitment to Man United and he's been your second choice goalkeeper. And this is not a bias in any way, there is no better second choice goalkeeper in the world. There's simply not. That's not bias. You can think there's not. You try to think there's not. Okay. What she said is, all we want is, because Dean Henderson is now the second choice, please release Romero. If I'm Sheffield United this window, I'm doing all I can to get Romero, whether it's on loan or permanent.
It's what Chris Wilder said, is he's not signing anyone. He'll get people on
He was on a break,
but he'll not sign anyone this transfer.
But then that's where they go back. That's where they go to the Championship. Come on! Sheffield United, right?
Quick pass!
There! That's it! Good! What is he doing? He wasn't even looking at the goal. He was too busy looking at the player. And now they've gone back.
Just whip it in.
He wasn't even looking to either shoot or pass.
Nah, they've wasted this opportunity.
Sheffield United have come into this game thinking if we either draw or don't get beat by too many goals, we've done well. That there was a chance. Number 7 is looking at the corner flag, gets the ball and just goes, what do I do?
Well,
rather than turning and shooting or passing.
You seen the wing back? It was raging at number 7 after that. But who is number 7?
That's Norwood. No, is that no Scottish guy? Burke?
No, he's number 14. Oliver
Oliver McBurke.
No, Burke's 14.
I'd have to honestly get up a team sheet, to be honest. Here's a question for you. See, when you get a football top and it's all the way here, do you know what that is?
It's to make your breathing easier.
Vicks.
Are you surprised that I know that?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you know anything.
I actually know it because I seen on a YouTube video.
Did you? Somebody else on your YouTube channel.
It was with Patrick Vieira, because remember he used to do it every single match, and it was asked why, and that was really.
Oh, that's a point, by the way. Here's a point. I don't know if you know, right? Because this is. See the guy. Who's the guy who fought Conor McGregor and he beat him? He's Russian.
Don't ask me, I don't know.
Oh no! Right, I'll get it up. Right.
I know he got beat, but
no, the other guy. MMA. Russian. He fought that baby bear as well.
Why don't you go to the comments? Maybe someone's put it on.
Habib. Did you see that? Habib signed
as a central midfielder for a Russian.
Aye. Do you know what we need?
Roy Keane.
Exactly. I put that out in a tweet, and that's what we need. We need them back. You didn't even see my tweet, and you know it's true.
People probably win, but it'd be a good fight. And who doesn't like Roy Keane? With exactly his his remarks. Does it seem to be working okay?
It's fine.
Because when I said earlier it would seem to be okay, but you've changed a few things.
I have moved it because earlier I thought we screamed too much, so I thought I'd move the mic a little bit to a better side.
But it seems to be working. That's fine.
It seems to be absolutely perfect.
That will do. Fine, Dabby does it. It seems to be okay, but you've changed.
Well, volume works.
I really hate my voice on camera.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I don't mind about volume and
no,
voice.
My face is just
perfection.
But voice.
That doesn't bother me.
I hate it.
Doesn't bother me. Oh, handball, and I know that I see he's bad. He's shouting out for handball because he's touched it with his left foot. He's put his hand there and he's touched it. I done weights yesterday. My arms were really sore from doing weights.
See, these three got a broken leg, but foot, but you're still keeping yourself active, getting your exercise, not going out during COVID, but still getting exercise.
I done it on a seat. So 75% to Man City.
This game has been horrendous.
Actually, do you know what games that I watched?
Quite a lot. Name one. Clock's ticking.
What games that I watched during the week and they had the most passes in a season without having many shots?
Arsenal.
I think it may have been Arsenal. They had like 400 and something passes in one half without having a shot.
That sounds like
two shots. It was. I just watched it and went, yeah, that's not good. I don't know. Sheffield United rings a bell, but I'm assuming it's not.
No, they're not really a passing club. What I've seen so far with Sheffield United is they like to just attack and they don't bother about how many passes. But that's how football should be played. See, if you pass too many times and nothing happens, what's the point?
Right. If you keep passing sideways, there's no point.
Pass forward, get the strikers, shoot. That's how you're going to score.
Cross it. See, Man City, I'm pretty sure they've only had like one shot, two shots on target.
They've had two shots on target. The one was a goal. The other one was the head back to the goalkeeper, and I think it was Kundawan got his head on it, and it just went into the goalkeeper's hands.
They scored one goal, but they've not been that good. I mean, I won't say that, but they've not been that convincing. I'll say convincing.
If you're keeping up to date with Sheffield United, who did Ramsdale play for last year, and they got relegated, so that's a big hint.
So last year relegation was Norwich.
But I'm asking who would they get him asking who did they play for?
I said Norwich.
No, that's Tim Krul.
It's not a team that I know.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Same with the whole goalie.
Holy goalie that went back to Diego Warsaw at the end of last season.
Good goalkeeper though. He was too good to be sitting as a number 2. Not quite Romero, but
when he was at Celtic many years ago, he had done an amazing first season, and then the second season he started to make too many mistakes, and that's when he went to, can't remember who he went to. Was it Bournemouth?
No, it wasn't.
Can't remember who went to, but Arsenal was.
You better not be coming down with that serious illness. I'll take you back to an elevator again.
Give me 2 seconds. Okay, Arsenal was reported to offer 10 million after the first season at Celtic, but then personal reasons made him make too many mistakes, and Gordon Stratton stuck with the number 1 even though he made too many mistakes, and I think he got sold from Celtic for 1.7 instead of the 10 million that they could have got.
It wasn't that bad. That was almost Man City through again.
I'm just going to stop talking, because every time I do I just cough.
There isn't, honestly, this game has all been in the midfield. There isn't that much chances during the game.
Shoot! See, I can do that.
Fleck has had a fantastic career since leaving Rangers. You've got to admit, he's pushed the Man City player there. That could easily have been a yellow card. Oh, he shoots!
Straight to the goalkeeper.
Straight to the goalkeeper.
Target
by Brewster. That's going to be 2-1 to Man City in shots.
Unless they've had a shot, I've not really.
So he's played 17 games, 0 goals, and he cost $30.5 million.
I didn't know that.
You can tell that I'm watching an American channel.
I thought he came through the youth system.
Did you? That's quite a high fee when you consider at Sheffield United. I can understand that they thought, right, last year good season and we're going to finish quite high, but it was, I don't know if it was Michael Owen says next season, because Michael Owen says about Leicester, they've won the league, but next season they're going to be in relegation. This was a few years ago. It was one of the pundits that says that Sheffield United will do well this season, they did, and next season they've been in relegation.
Are you sure going to talk as well?
Because I'm just too gassy for the call, but I'm trying to be professional and not burp, to be honest.
Oh, but you've not got any issue burping out your arse, have you?
Aye, because that smells nice. Tell you, if you ever get the opportunity, it's good.
Aye, don't fart in the elevator though.
I remember being at your auntie's years and years and years ago. I was only primary school, so
wait there.
It was around when Bruce Lee's son died, so that must have been 1991 too.
That's good. I wasn't even.
So I was less than 10. Anyway. I'm sitting in the living room, and your auntie's house always smells of fabric softener. She's always got the tumble dryer on, and I was able to stink out the whole living room as I farted. That's my proudest day. I wasn't even 10 and I thought chemical warfare is great. That's true actually, it was brilliant.
What auntie is that? Because both of them's got...
So, Auntie Cleaner, I put my weight and put them. Auntie Cleaner.
Right.
Because mine are our tumble dryer was always in the kitchen. And
I thought you meant the one stayed in Mubburn.
Oh no, I didn't even chuck it out for that.
Imagine stinking at the place at 10.
Dad at 10. Nah, I was less than 10.
Did you shit yourself?
I just farted. It was absolutely How one? But I've been blessed with a chemical warfare system. It's great.
Yeah, well, you say blessed, everyone says, get the fuck.
My dog loves it though.
Oh,
I don't know what I did
loves the smell.
I don't know what I did there, and my dog's like... I've got a Caucasian Shepherd. He's absolutely massive. He's so gentle though. He's so gentle. It's so funny. I gave him some bread this morning.
I think Ian can tell you a different story about being gentle.
I went to go for Ian a few times, but he's just so gentle. And I was like, here you go. Didn't even have to say anything. He go gentle. But he was out the other day there when the postman came and tried to go for the postman.
So I would say that your dog is gentle.
But it's his nature. He's fine. He's gentle.
Is that... No, it's still 1-0. Someone says that 2-0, but it's not been changed.
He's the one that gave me the big massive lump on my shin.
By running into
it. I've still got a big lump there, and my dog's cut his head open. But he's fine.
It's fine. I've got a better dog than a Caucasian Shepherd.
I do want to put him on camera, but at the end of the day...
I've got a much better dog. It's a Siberian Husky.
He's got a much better dog. If you want to be licked to death.
Yeah, at least it doesn't go for anyone. See, you can't say that, can you?
Mine does, to be honest. Mine's is fine as long as you tell him he's fine. But if you don't tell him, he just goes, "Rrr." But it's his nature. But I've been looking at getting another one. Not just now, but maybe in the next couple of years.
I wouldn't trust you with an Caucasian Shepherd.
My Caucasian's
gentle
perfect
to you, but attack to everyone else.
But that's his nature, though.
It doesn't matter if it's nature. What if Wayne walks past and he goes,
no, he's fine with kids. He's fine with kids. He's like, I've got next door neighbours, like three kids, and he's fine with them.
Oh, but they kids are not right.
They kids are feral, but he's fine with them. And if you ever watch this video, your kids are feral, but he's fine with them. Right,
come on,
oh, he was so almost there.
Last ditch tackle there.
It was. But honestly, I know you're thinking what he's talking about, but this game is Albion in midfield. So all we've got to say is midfield, otherwise we're talking about... so we've got choices talking about what's interesting or what's happening in midfield, which is nothing.
How would we just go? Pass.
Aye.
Pass.
And that's it.
Pass.
And that's it, that's all that's happening. Oh, he's got
come
behind! We see that and he gets behind, same position. Oh! He almost got in the same position as Gabriel Jesus scored in the first half.
But the centre back was there this time. He
was there, and he's learnt his lesson to man-mark Jesus this time. I still want... I would like Sheffield United to win. That was actually a handball.
Win or
because he played in there.
At least get a point, because I don't want them to see them in the Championship next season.
I don't. I think for me, and I'm not a Sheffield United fan, but I wouldn't want to see them in the Championship. I'm not going to say they're too good, because no team is too good for the Championship. Once you get into the Championship, you can be in there for years. It's such a tough league to get out of. But I do not want Wilder to be sacked. For me, I would sit down, give him a 2-year, 5-year contract, or as Newcastle done with Pardew, 7 years, sign it.
And then he got sacked.
No, but for me, it's a bit like Rafa Benitez. He comes in, does the job, but you don't see what's going on in the background.
Exactly. That's why so many managers get sacked, and because you're seeing on Saturday or Sunday, they maybe getting beat once or twice, and then the pressure grows. But what are they doing to the youth system and everything?
Exactly.
Quite a lot.
Exactly. Corner.
Unless you're a manager that only knows you're going to be there for maybe a year or two, then you don't do much. You just turn up.
Exactly. And that's what it is. You've got to look at, is that a free kick? Or is that a corner? You've got to look at...
well, they're...
It should be a corner.
Well, they're trying to think if it went out prior. So it may be a goal kick.
It's corner, look, he's gone in. But you've got to look at what the manager does just now and what is happening in the background. Because what Rafa done at Newcastle and Liverpool, especially at Liverpool, he put in a system where there was excellent youth facilities and youth recruitment. Liverpool seen the benefit of that under the Klopp regime.
Especially with Trent Arnold.
Aye. And that's the thing. I mean, it's great saying, oh, but no. You've got to look at what does the manager do, and you've got to understand what he's putting in place. Because if you think he comes in like Sam Allardyce and comes in and goes, right, defend, and that's all they do, then you're going to obviously change your manager. You've got to understand the mentality of what they're doing behind the scenes.
There's a prime example, Chelsea. They seem to sack their managers every fucking week. And the youth system on them is absolutely horrendous. What they're doing is just buying youth from other clubs and loaning them out. And it just doesn't work.
I've got a point about that actually. I was doing research on this game previously. So I was looking at the top goal scorers.
Gundogan.
And is that who's for the Premier League?
No, for Man City.
And what came up from another league, I want to say the Bundesliga, right? Don't quote me on that. But Gail Kakuku came up as one of the top goal scorers in the Bundesliga. And he is a Chelsea player. Well, he was a Chelsea player. He is a Chelsea prospect. So you just think that free kick to Man City, that's a stupid tackle by Fleck. Why would you do that so close there?
So you should say Fleck done so well, and now he's stupid for giving away foul.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous area because Man City were running away and he's gave it, and we're pretty much in line 19 yards out, but it's way far, so he's going to have to obviously whip it in. We'll see what happens here, and we'll go back to that point about the Chelsea. But we'll go back to that second.
But just before this freak, I'll just wait.
Here's Gundogan. He's played it in. To be fair, it was a good ball, but Sheffield United handled it well, and they've now put it up the park. So, go
come on, Oliver.
Sheffield United on the break. So, going back to what I was trying to say about the Chelsea thing was this. They've got a manager and they've got a system, they've got a view. So for me personally, I'll just say this personally. For me personally, I wouldn't use an attacking midfielder because it's not how I would play my system. Whether it's right or wrong, I wouldn't play it. With Chelsea, there's a lot of managers that won't play that system. So what they'll do is they'll either loan out the attacking midfielder or they'll sell them. Now, how many players have Chelsea lost permanently because they've got a new manager? I think it was 15 managers in 16. I think it was 15 managers in 16 seasons, something like that. It's crazy. How many players have they lost? They've lost Salah. No, Salah was Salah Chelsea.
Salah was at Chelsea when you
They lost Kevin De Bruyne.
Lost Kevin, yeah.
Right, so they're big names.
But that was both under Yosemite.
But they're big players. But then they've lost, let's say, Gail Kakuku. Now, a lot of folk might say, well, who's that? But I remember him as a prospect, the same as Josh McCracken. It was only because I was checking goal scorers in Europe today that I came across his name and went, oh, is that what he's doing now? And obviously I researched it and I checked it.
Is he still in the Championship?
No, he's in the Bundesliga. Oh, Josh McCracken is.
No.
Aye. But I'm talking about Gail Kakuka.
Yeah.
And that's half time.
But yeah, I know who you're speaking about, but I wouldn't say that he was the best for Chelsea. He did get his chances, but he just didn't do anything special.
I'm not saying he's going to do well. I need to remember and play that at the same time. When it's the right time. I'm not going to say he's going to do well, right? But how can you look at a player? So I work for an IT company, as you do, and anybody else who's watching it will work for our company. So we'll just say IT for argument's sake. If you work for an IT company, you've got an intern. You give the intern a structure. You work towards a structure. You can become. Okay, it's only at base level, and from that base level you can work higher. But to get to that base level, do X, Y, and Z. At Chelsea, you don't get the opportunity to get to that base level.
No.
Because your manager says you don't fit into my
regime. So
you don't fit into my tactics.
I'll just turn it into enough cream there with the regime.
Exactly. And that's the thing.
Yeah, that's what Jose Mourinho said when he joined Tottenham. I actually think it was on the Amazon Prime thing. It says Chelsea would buy the youngsters and then loan them out instead of training them up as what they would normally do in a club. Sometimes that would work, but then they're spending millions to maybe lose millions, or they would get one or two good players out of what they have, and Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount. So you could maybe sell them for like maybe 40 million each, but then that's it. Whereas I would much rather spend money on youth and getting that constant. It's going to take maybe 6-7 years to set up. The prime team for us is Ajax. If you look at them 2 years ago or 3 years ago in the Champions League, they had an amazing squad, a lot of youngsters, and they've all been sold off for massive amount of money. And as what Edward van der Sar says, they'll start up again with just more money in the youth. And that's how you're going to build up in these kind of climate, because the finances are just not there for a current team. Because there's Barcelona, their sponsorship last year was over 600 million, and it's been reported that they're over 1.5 billion in debt.
Really? Didn't they say that they may not be able to afford Messi's wages that are... So here's the thing about wages, right, that you have to understand. If you look at wages, you've got, he is 900 euros a week. So let's just say he's 1 million euros a week, for argument's sake. That's basic. That's basic, right? So Man City on even games, 44 points. Man United on 40 games, 40 points. Man U play Arsenal later. So go back to what you're saying. So Messi is on £1 million per week. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that doesn't include bonuses. It doesn't include winning the league, getting into the last 16 of the European Championship. That doesn't. So his average salary could be argued 1.5 per week, just for argument's sake.
There is a YouTube video on this as well, just on Messi. So he earns £1 million a week. No, it's not £1 million, but it's like €1 million euros per week at Barcelona. But his whole 100% income. See, back in 2005, most players' income and sponsorships, the sponsorship over mounted the income. So just say you would maybe earn 60% of your income via sponsorship and 40% via wage. With Messi, his 68% of his actual 100% income is coming via Barcelona.
Is it? Wow.
So there's only 32% coming via sponsorship, and he's got one of the biggest sponsorships in the world. It's in Pepsi.
But you've got to have that, because otherwise you just simply can't afford his salary, which is... We've always come into the argument of who's better, Ronaldo or Messi, and they're both different players. Messi is talented, natural. Ronaldo works. Messi won't play as long as Ronaldo because he doesn't work as hard.
No.
Man United have had... Now, Man United signed Fernandes. Okay? I would argue the reason that Man United are doing better now than they were... If you ever watch Fernandes play, you tell... Because I was watching it the other night, he was telling the player, stay there, don't run, stay there, run. He was directing play. Cristiano Ronaldo is the exact same. If your team is doing bad, you'll go, come on guys, get in here.
But if you notice, that's why Louis van Gaal, talking about years and years ago, at Man U, brought in Bastian Schweinsteiger
Mm-hmm.
to control that midfield and to do what Fernandes is doing. If you notice it, since Jose Mourinho came in to Manchester United, they were missing that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they finished second and loads of points behind Man City, they didn't have the controlled midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Solskjaer took over, that was his number one transfer, was to get a controlling midfield to help the players where to be. And Pogba, for how talented he is, he's benefited quite a lot from Fernandes taking the pressure off him and going, right, I'm going to play my normal game. And the goal that he scored against Burnley just shows that. Because if you think about it, a few years ago, would he have took that shot on? I think he'd have looked for the pass, but he took the shot, obviously went through the goalkeeper's legs. It was luck, but still, that's all you need in football.
That's it. You've got to look at the opportunities that arise. Now, we've seen this game with Man City and Sheffield United, and it's been pretty much a midfield battle. If you're a Man City fan, you're absolutely ecstatic. If you're a Sheffield fan, you're not too bad, because you're thinking, we've contained Man City and we've not allowed them much opportunity. The goal that they scored was
lucky,
very fortunate, exactly. And I definitely think Wilder has. Honestly, see if Sheffield win, wouldn't surprise me.
Even if we get a draw, I think Sheffield United would be happy with that. And then they need to build up from this weekend onwards and try and get a few more wins so they can remain in the English from next season.
Do you think anybody of the top six, from the top six, will buy Zaha?
No.
Why?
Because he's just like Ryan Fraser played for Bournemouth. He got linked to Arsenal and then he started to play awful. That's what Zaha's doing at the moment. See if you look at Zaha from 2 years ago at Crystal Palace. He was doing everything. Because he got linked with Arsenal, he's went down the pecking order. So I think in reality he's not going to be top six.
I think he is.
I think he's at the
and
level.
that's the good thing about us too. We can disagree to agree.
I think he's at the level where he's going to be, and it's not anymore.
Do you think that?
Maybe go to say West Ham, level? But I wouldn't say that he would. If he left Crystal Palace, that'll be him.
Did you see that about Did you see that about West Ham? They signed Lingard, and you see his picture, and he just looks so depressed. Have you seen that?
No, but all I'm saying is, a Man U fan, thank fuck he's away.
He looks so depressed.
Because, the 2 years ago, I always watched it 2 years ago, he was average. I wouldn't say he was not special, but he would come on, do something average, but he's awful. I think he needs to go out, get some game experience, and hopefully come back and reach his potential. But seeing reality, see if I get an offer in for like £1 million for him, he's off. I would much rather just sign someone else.
He didn't look happy at all.
He's what age is Lingard?
He's about 30.
30. So even if you think about it, he's made us a lost cause now.
He didn't look happy at all. I'm trying to get a picture from when he signed. That's not. He looks happy there.
Aye, but you can also fake it though.
Wait, I'm pretty sure I commented on it.
But people that's watching, what do you think of Lingard? Do you think he's good enough to play for Man U, or do you think he should leave Man U and never come back? I'm under the influence that he should never come back. He did score a goal against Leicester last game of last season, but it was just luck, and that was just awful. Like, you see, trying to watch him was awful.
He's a good squad player, but I wouldn't have him in there as a regular player.
I wouldn't say he was in a squad player. I would set him in reserves. Every time I play FM or FIFA, that's one player that I always sell as a Man U. I just don't rate him high. I just don't rate him high enough to.
I was playing PES yesterday. It was quite slow actually.
PES 20 or 21.
21.
Oh, you got an update one.
I was playing PES. See, here's the goal. That should never have happened. He's beat 2 players, got into Gabriel Jesus. Nobody's marking him. Like, nobody's marking him at all.
It's a fix. They've obviously paid him off.
They've paid the referee. So I was watching.
No, because the referee couldn't do anything. Should have paid off his centre backs.
I played the goalkeeper, Ramsdale.
Well, Ramsdale done nothing wrong there. It was his centre back that just wasn't close on him. So if anything, paid the centre back. So watch the same game as me.
So I was playing PES yesterday, and it was quite good actually. I actually enjoyed it. If you play online, it's rubbish because the way that they've done it is you've got online and then you've got offline, and offline play is completely different from online.
Is that because when you play online you get beat?
Always get beat.
And then when you're playing offline, you're playing amateur, so you can win.
Amateur, I play it easier than that. No, but it is different, completely different. It seemed, I think it was 2 different teams that done it, so it's completely different.
The last time I played PES, this was the 2020 version. I can remember playing on Legendary, and obviously when you start your own team up, I think I had Mbappe, I'm trying to think of my setup. So I had Mbappe, Ibra, and Salah. And I struggled on Legendary, but I managed to win that game 1-0. I was actually surprised that I kept a clean sheet because it was all Juventus, and then I had one quick breakaway. It was Mbappe, just ran down the wing. He's got amazing speed, and then I passed to Ibra. Ibra managed to huddle for was it? I can't remember who the defender was. I think it was
Kylian Mbappe.
I can't remember. But then he held it up, and I just seen Salah try to make a wee run, so I played a through ball and just swerved it into the top corner.
PES is better than FIFA.
I
actually prefer playing FIFA actually, but
I would agree with you. See, if it was prior 2020, yes, but see in 2020 version of PES compared to FIFA, I would say FIFA edged it.
I would say so as well. I think the gameplay of PES is better, but
Plus,
I prefer playing FIFA.
I'll go back to the statement you made earlier, Your Honour. You said that you're a Dzeko fan. What team did he play for in the Bundesliga?
Wolfsburg.
I'm surprised you know that.
Mate, I know everything about Dzeko. I'm like a big Lukaku fan. I played for Anderlecht. I didn't know, but I'm pretty sure he didn't play for Anderlecht Academy. I'm sure he was bought.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he was a youth player for Anderlecht.
I like how you're surprised that it was Wolfsburg.
No, I'm just surprised that you know, because you said last week, or was it 2 weeks ago,
that
Fred was Russian.
Yeah, I know.
So, see when you get something
quickly though,
correct, I'm surprised.
Oh, because he's shown up there. How good has that Smith Rowe been? He got a new contract. He's went from 20,000 to 40,000 per week.
He's always been a hot prospect. See if you played FM a few years ago, it was always rated as a hot prospect.
I need to quickly go and walk the dog.
Is that your excuse? You should have done that at half time. Sure of. Just waiting on the ball now. Just waiting until the second half kicks off. Man's City's about to kick off. There we go. Hopefully Sheffield United can score. Shit to midfield. This is awful. But yes, we'll be doing the Arsenal v Man U later on. That'll be a much better game, hopefully. I'll get my Man U top on. hopefully it's not against. Hopefully we don't do a Sheffield United and get beat 2-1. But it's just straight back into midfield. It's like they've not changed anything since first half. It's awful. Just side passing, nothing happening. I think the camera's off, actually. Ah, that'll do. So is this a corner for Man City? Gundogan going up to hit the cross. Hopefully Sheffield United can get a quick breakaway and make it 1-1. So ball comes in and straight out for a goal kick. It was a shit head from Ruben. He had loads of space and he just wide. Good centre back, but I wouldn't say he was good at scoring much goals. Nothing really happened here. If we could pass, come on. Should have passed that a wee bit quicker, and then Sheffield United would have been through. Number 7 again, taking far too long. I think it's Lundstrom that's number 7. Usually not too bad, but taking far too long on the ball. And Man City's on the attack here, running down the wing, and they just pass back to midfield. What's the point? Come on. So back to Man City centre back. Whereas they were in the final third. What's the point passing back? As I said, I think the camera's kind of off. It's kind of shadowing, especially on, especially on your end.
See that? I was looking at it. There you go. Sign it. Because of the way I set it up, because I'm obviously right-handed. Yeah. It's, see, the second half just started off like the first half. It's all midfield. I was watching it.
As soon as they get the balls passing back.
I was watching it. You
No,
boggle.
You shouldn't be watching it.
I was watching it when I was.
You shouldn't be.
Right. Nah, but I was watching it there. I was watching it, and it's still the same as you say. I had to go and refill my cola there because I wasn't almost finished, but it was running.
I don't think you've got much of that left.
No, because I only bought a 2 litre bottle. So. But anyway, here's Man City.
That usually lasts a full day.
See, I'm trying to be better though. I'm trying to like make sure I don't drink too much sugar, but...
Okay, so you're not too sure about drinking sugar,
here's
but you've
Foden.
just ordered a 2 litre bottle and you've drank it.
No, I don't usually. Oh! Honestly, that was almost to Gabriel, who says again. He went in with a slide tackle and he missed it, and then he saw the Gundogan. But that was really good by Man City.
I would just say it's basic, nothing special happened there.
I thought it was quite good.
You're just getting a premature ejaculation there.
Look, I told you, that's between us two. What happens in my personal life is nothing to share with YouTube.
But they'll find it funny.
like a cow.
See, I found out who it was.
I actually like that top. Actually, I might actually. Right, so this is for anybody that is watching. I was thinking about putting up a Twitter thing. If you want to win a football top, I was going to put a thing for a week. and you can get any Premier League top that you want if you win it.
Oh, I was going to say I've got a Juventus top if everybody wants it.
Aye, it's not just a Juventus top, it's a Juventus player top. I like it, it's really nice.
Want it?
Probably. That is really nice actually, you don't wear it so often, do you?
No, I'm more where the Inter Milan, the zigzag one.
I might take it back then. But the AC Milan one's nice. Oh, 2 players down.
See the AC Milan one I was wanting was last year. I think it was the third kit, but I could just not find it anywhere.
See, I want the Man U pink one, but I can't find it, so I might buy the Sheffield United one.
And just swap the badge.
Badge. I really like it. I mean, honestly, I don't suit pink at all, but I like pink. It's like a salmon pink. This is quite serious for the Man City player. They've got 3 players.
It looks like he's messed out, but you can see his foot.
He's in the recovery position. Here. Better joke told him that he's alright. They've got an ambulance person standing by. He's not moved in, but he's obviously looking.
I can still remember what happened with Bolton and Fabrice Muamba.
Fantastic player, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can still remember watching that game and everything just stopped and everything just like all the medical and got sent to the hospital and yeah, I can still remember.
Here's my raise. Do you know what player always springs to mind when you say that? It's I feel quite bad now for not remembering his name.
Can you remember the?
It was a guy who bit in at half time and he died. He died of a heart attack.
Phil Tunnel.
I seen that. That was really bad. So Phil O'Donnell, have you seen it?
I've not saw it, but I do know of him.
So Phil O'Donnell, Foden's coming back on. So Phil O'Donnell was weird. So he scored and he's ran, right? And he went to the sideline, not quite the corner flag, but the sideline, and he's done like this, right, like this. But he stretched, and then apparently he tore his. This is nothing to do with this, by the way, but he's torn his valve in his heart. So he's then landed like this, and people are celebrating, and yeah, he died.
Yeah.
So as a Celtic observer, I remember when Phil O'Donnell and Simon Donnelly signed for Sheffield Wednesday. Both went to Sheffield Wednesday. Top players for Celtic at the time. Greatly missed, and it was a few years later that Simon Donnelly and Phil O'Donnell came back, and Phil O'Donnell went to Motherwell. I believe a tweet, again it was recent, I believe it's been 11 years since he died.
It'd be about that, yeah.
And it's absolutely, honestly, he was such a good player that I forgot again that you should have reminded me, or you should have pressed it. Has it up there? That unfortunately he died, but it was such a shock that he died in such a way. It was.
That's what I was going to say earlier. If we went on that.
I've got a point actually. Sorry, just before you say it's right, before I forget, because I really don't want to forget here. Manchester City had a player in a similar position, and now the Czechs in the heart after Phil O'Donnell and Czech Teote. The Czech, honestly, see Czech, by the way. I am not a Newcastle fan, but he is one player that I always wanted to meet, was Czech. He was he always came across as a fun-loving guy that would be fantastic to meet. Anyway, Manchester City had a player who I believe is 21, 22, and he was diagnosed with a heart condition, and what they did was they did not have a scouting position. Oh, it was good save there by Ramsdale. They didn't have a scouting position available.
He's just getting into space.
Exactly, they really need to mark. They really need to be more tight. But yeah, they didn't have a scouting position at Manchester City but what they did was they provided a scouting position for that player. Now that is class. Doesn't matter who you support in the Premier League or in the world. If you see a club do that, no matter if it's your rival, that is class, regardless. Sorry, I know you want to say something, but I didn't want to forget that and then not say it because it's quite important.
As I was going to say, did you ever see the Angel of Death, the YouTube video, the footballer that died on a pitch? See, according to the medical report, see when he got back up, done an overhead kick, and he just dropped down dead. He was dead prior getting back up.
Brain dead.
That's why he gets known as the Angel of Death.
Brain dead.
Yeah.
Brain dead.
And yeah, I still watch that video.
It's incredible how much it can be in your psyche, in your.
But I think we should get off the sad matter of people dying on the pitch or off the pitch and get actually upbeat about this match. It's hard because it's playing midfield, but surely we can think about something good about Man City or Sheffield United.
As long as I was talking about Philadelphia there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but the fans don't want to hear that.
No, I don't hear that. I was quite. It was quite a sad time when that happened, to be fair.
Right, indeed. Move on.
I'm just fixing something.
Did you forget to do something again?
No, I did, but it didn't work. That's why I was touching it again.
Is it the clock?
For whatever reason, it didn't play.
It's 12 minutes way behind, so it doesn't matter.
It just didn't touch. I did press play, but it didn't work. It's fine.
It's fine, we can do it next match.
I don't know why it's not showing the score, because I changed that as well.
Looks like you've changed it on the second page, but not on the main page. And you say you work in IT, you said? What IT company do you work for?
Can't tell you, I'll be sacked for that.
Well,
I'll be sacked for that.
See if I'd done the issue.
I work for my company.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't come to you. Oh, that's that fixed.
Sugar. That's wrong.
See. That's definitely been fixed, that issue there.
If anybody's watching from my IT company that knows me, they'll be like, that's calling for you.
That's what happened to the Wall Street market crash. It was because of you. Even though you weren't named on, but still.
I was.
Were you?
On 1929 I wasn't, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, why is it no? Honestly, it should be.
That is the famous IT.
There you go.
It should be.
There you go. Finally, it works. Finally, I done that ages ago. It didn't work.
How many times have you said about the issue? It should be working. It should be this. It should be doing that.
Do you know what I didn't do?
Didn't do. I don't
No.
know.
What didn't I do? That I should have done. What do you always do in IT? What's always your recommendation?
Switch off and restart.
That's it. I didn't do that. That's really.
But you ever notice that because we work in IT, you never think of the simple solution. We always think of something more. And it's like, remember the IT crowd? Well, she had that Irish person, I can't remember his name. Roy.
Aye.
It would go switch it off and hack on, and then you had.
You had another guy with glasses.
Aye, and he would go, oh, we tried this, we tried that. That's like us. We always forget the Roy approach.
Well, all I can say is, right,
I think it was Roy.
and you might be watching just now, if you are watching, begins with an R, you know what I'm talking about, he always keeps me right in IT. He always goes, Colin, have you tried this? And I'm like, oh, I should have done that first. And he knows what I'm talking about. So he knows, I don't want to say his name because that's probably wrong on YouTube, but he always keeps me right. And I've said to you many times, and you know what I'm talking about.
Is that the one with, yeah.
And he always keeps me right. And again, I sometimes take that approach that I'll overthink it. Here's Sheffield United on the break, and I sometimes overthink it without keeping it. And as they say, you always look at a crossing by Sheffield, and it's all handled by Man
Come
City.
on! See if that play was a wee bit.
Oh shit! Oh no!
See if it's been rugby, that would be a free point.
He actually had a fantastic game against Man City.
I'm going to get
Cola.
Well, I don't drink cola.
But as they say about IT or any company, always keep it KISS, keep it simple, stupid. He had so the player they're bringing on, he had a fantastic game against Man United on Wednesday.
Who?
Is it McGoldrick?
Alright.
I'll need to double check, to be honest. McGoldrick taking off Brewster. I'm actually going to go and buy that top, by the way, like right now. I actually like that top. Like, seriously.
I wouldn't buy it right now because of Brexit. You probably get taxed.
I'll probably get taxed heavy.
Just waiting on that filling up. So what's been happening since I was behind the magic curtain? Alright, I'll speak to myself.
Oh, I was just checking.
Oh, you were checking, aye. When I asked for an update, I expect an update. What are you checking now?
So, everything that's... right, so, what I was checking is before he goes mental, I had a slight issue with my washing machine today. So I was checking that to make sure that it's now... I didn't know if it was under insurance or not. So I was checking to see if I can get it fixed or not. That's all I was checking. Is that a good enough answer for you?
No. Because you can do it during the 90th minute.
I was, but...
No,
because... you kicked to Man City.
First of all, it's not a free kick. It's a corner. It's...
That's true.
The ball has stopped, but it's not a free kick.
I just seen the ball going there. Look, my foot's sore, right?
Oh, here we go, your foot.
So see Peacock, this is what I was going to say earlier. So we're watching this on an American channel, again, paid, and we've got a VPN for it, so it is legal. Peacock has purchased the rights to WWE Network.
Well, for $1 billion, I've seen that. But they've got all the main events.
Aye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a bad move by WWE.
I would say that's a bad move by Peacock because the viewing levels of WWE has went down dramatically. That's why they brought back the Fire with the Fiend, Randy Orton and Alexa, I think her name.
Did you say that the Fiend might now be possessing Alexa? Not that I watch WWE too often, to be honest.
I've not kept up with the story. I just see that the Fire, Randy Orton's face is supposed to be punt, but that's good. That's good makeup. And obviously, once the Fiend comes back, he'll come back and beat Randy Orton. Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of Bray Wyatt. I don't think Bray Wyatt gets the acknowledgements that he should. So he used to be Husky Harris, and as the Fiend, and Bray Wyatt, he's been fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I was reading the other day, which is quite unfortunate, about the death of Brodie Lee, who was Luke Harper, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I know it's taken away from the football point of view, but he used to go under the name of Luke Harper under WWE, and WWE couldn't do too much with him. And I would say, for myself, I didn't see too much that they could do with him. I'll be honest. They went to AEW and they'd done what they could with him. And to be honest, he's done fantastic with Brodie Lee. So looking at it, now I've got a lot of experience with COVID, and COVID people, doesn't matter, but I've got a lot of experience. But what happened was they said that he's got a lung condition that's not COVID related. Done numerous tests, even when he was in hospital, and it turned out that they think, now this is, they started doing an autopsy, because I read that last night. They said that they won't find out until they do the autopsy if there was scarring on lungs, and that's what caused his condition. So he went in the hospital and he said, "Look, you're getting better, yada yada." So he was in physio, as is, doesn't matter. He was getting better, and they then says to him, "Look, you need a lung transplant." I don't think he really knew, but from what I read, he was continuously rejected lung transplants because he was infectious. Not with COVID, but had this infection. So they didn't give him a lung transplant.
I was going to say, see during next game, you get a new cola because you're fucking to talk with.
And they decided that he wasn't getting it, and he died on the December 26th, which is unfortunate.
But did you see his partner is now also joined EW? The guy who used to
So
wear
his son.
Coat mask. I can't remember his name, but
Luke Gallows. I know Luke Gallows. Another guy, because he just joined just
other
after. Because he just joined just afterwards.
No.
But that's the only reason why we're mentioning this, because we're watching it on an American channel just now on Peacock. NBCSN, which is sponsored by Peacock.
West Brom has equalised against Fulham. 1-1. And Crystal Palace is up 1-0.
1-0.
If you watch, you know.
But it was a good ball for Man City.
Pass
Pass!
Pass!
Why would you not pass?
Goal kick.
Now, I want to say this, right? Easy way to get some Marcola. But wouldn't you say, right, that although we're only getting upbeat about certain plays, that is only because that is the only thing that is the only time they're through in goal. Because that there, when they were through in goal, we were completely behind it, and he should have passed there to Gundogan, who had a clear opportunity.
But I'm still hoping for Sheffield United to get an equaliser.
Honestly, Sheffield United aren't that far behind Man City. Man City got lucky with that first goal, and Sheffield United have played similar.
Did you see that update? I think you missed it.
I did actually.
Well, okay, what's update?
I missed it. I said.
Oh, West Brom
2-1. So they scored 2 goals in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Nah, it's been like 5, but yeah. Big Sam's on the ball. But if I was Chris Wilder, that would make me go more attacking, because that's the relegation teams getting more further away.
But don't you think, talking about Sam Allardyce, the paper that had the Sam Allardyce story and footage didn't show it when they had it. They waited and waited and waited, and then they showed it. So he then became the England manager, played 1 game, then they showed it.
But at least he can say that he's only England manager with 100% win success rate.
I am, honestly, I speak to some people that are from England, like Joe and stuff, but I believe that Sam Allardyce was a better appointment than Gareth Southgate.
With Sam, if he had time and if he changed his approach a little bit, I could have maybe seen him. Well, with Southgate, they did reach the semi-finals, so I can't see Sam doing much more than what he could have. But there would have been more structure, and there wouldn't have been much more goals from the corners. I think it would have been more fluent. But Gareth Southgate, if you look at it, depends on set pieces quite a lot.
I don't think Sam Allardyce would have got any further than Southgate. But what I do believe about Allardyce is he would have had him in a better position structurally just now than Southgate. I remember watching, and this is from what I'm taking, I remember watching Southgate, Pearce and Mark Hughes when they were doing their managerial years ago. Didn't impress me too much, and now they're in positions of better teams. Well, Southgate is anyway. It didn't ring he didn't come to me. He didn't ring. Oh, that's an amazing manager. He should be England manager. For me, I still think of the times prior, and for me, that's what I think of. I don't think he's learnt enough, but you can't really test him out until he plays these games.
Well, did
My
he?
foot's fucking sore.
Did he not get sacked as Middlesbrough manager?
Uh-huh.
Oh no, that wasn't.
But is it not Aston Villa as well? He done really bad as Aston Villa manager as well.
Yeah.
Because Southgate and Mark Hughes done pretty bad as the Man City.
Is Mark Hughes even the manager now, or is he just enjoying being off?
I don't know, but Man City, this is why it's relevant. Here's Foden. Shot! Oh, great save by Ramsdale. And he's out for the corner. Now, I know what you're thinking, but that is, honestly, if there's any shot, we'll tell you, that is the only shot in the past 3, 4, 5 minutes.
It's been all midfield. It's been horrendous.
I mean, we're not going to tell you pass. We're just going to fill in the gaps. But oh my Jesus, it's been quiet since then.
We just ramble a lot of crap to
No, but it's good that we talk, because if we didn't talk, then we've got.
Is there anybody actually stuff on the comments? Because I don't see that up.
Well, Prince of Ian's his Rangers chair. Go out his Rangers chair. Wait there. Oh, it is.
Whose game universe?
Me.
So you managed to get well done.
I shared it.
So there's nothing up to date.
So Foden with the corner. Well done by McGoldrick. Went to Gundogan, and it's a free kick.
Even though he's not scored much goals in English, he's actually surprised me quite a lot from a championship player to that he can actually play in the English Premier. No, the McGoldrick.
Oh, right, yeah.
Ryan
It's all because I've seen Fleck doing the tackle there.
John Fleck, he's a bit of a hit and miss player for me. He gets a few good games and then he's very inconsistent. He
was tipped to be a better player than what he was, but then you could argue he's playing the Premiership, and that's as high as you can really get, really. Spanish, you say, is better, but I'm not convinced it is.
Spanish, a few years ago, I would 100% agree with you. See, when an El Clasico was on and the stadiums was pouncing, this is when you had Messi's, Ronaldo's, like all the big massive players. See, now Spanish is a good league, but I wouldn't say it was much better than the English at the moment. But the best league that I would say is maybe continues to watch is the Serie A, and I miss out Chairman because it always goes to just Bayern Munich.
Although Borussia Dortmund's done really well, and
I'm
I'm thinking about doing a few of their games because they've got a fantastic squad. Now I've not looked at
but see if you look
Jude Bellingham since he's left Birmingham.
He's got on 2 games that I know of, and 2 games that I know of he's been beat. But see, if you actually look at the German overall, nothing special. But see if you look at Serie A, even though Juventus have won it for the last previous 3-4 years, whatever it has been, this year it's all just need to.
I'm 37, and I can say in all honesty, I was so fortunate to watch SPL, Serie A, and its heyday. Serie A used to be the league to play in.
I can remember,
and it's coming back to that now. It's not going to. There's going to be a few subs here for Sheffield.
Oh, McBurney's coming on.
Right, come on, McBurney. It's not going to be competing with the English Premier League, but I used to love the Serie A. It was so good. When you had Del Piero, you had Roberto Baggio, you had the other Baggio, you had Ronaldo at Inter Milan. It was fun before they played for AC Milan. It was fantastic. It was AC Milan or Inter Milan first.
I can remember.
It was fantastic. And then you had, I remember, right?
Oh, here are you gonna let me talk?
And everybody that's watching that knows me, I was talking to a person who plays football, I was speaking about Batistuta. I think I said to you, and he goes, "Who's Batistuta?" I went, "You don't know who Batistuta is?" He was
only one of the best strikers in Serie A.
Aye, in the world at the time, and every season he was always linked with a better team in the EPL when he played for Fiorentina. And he goes, "Who's Batistuta?" I'm like, "Mate, if you don't know who Batistuta is, you know nothing about football."
That was my favourite player when I was actually
Was
younger.
it?
Can you remember me just going about? I was fucking knee high.
You think it was Gabriel?
And I was like, Batistuta.
Batistuta. Oh, Gabriel Batistuta was absolutely fantastic.
Didn't know much about him, but that was the same with me. Way every time, the first time I heard of Michael Owen, I was like, Owen.
Aye,
I'm actually surprised you can't remember that.
Owen used to be fantastic till he got injured a few times. I remember him getting injured at the World Cup.
I was going to say, I can remember every Saturday morning we used to wake up. You were
Foden.
We were on Sky when it was up to date.
Against Will Delta.
Remember when Sky was up to date and you could watch it on just like 401. Remember these fucking channels?
That was useful.
And it used to go goal Lazio, and it used to be the Serie A.
Yeah, it used to be. We'll say it in 3, 1, 2, 3.
Goal Lazio!
That.
And then that
was Bruno
Sharp person that used to commentate.
He does say, do you know, he still does football, but he also does World's Strongest Man now.
Nah.
He does.
I've kind of lost with that. But I can remember watching it every weekend. That goal Lazio. And that used to be what we can remember.
So, Basham off and Burkon for his place.
So, it's what I said, they're going more attacking.
They are. Because I honestly, when I'm watching this, we're on the 77th.
And he's got a head injury straight away. Or if I make punning.
Mate, he's Scottish, he'll be right up. He'll be like, mate, what are you doing?
Give the fist.
Hit me with a sledgehammer and I'll be alright. You're Scottish. The only two nationalities that isn't going to bother you, Scottish and Russian. That's true.
I'm not arguing with that.
That's true. Big Pony's like that. Come on, mate. Get the fish up alright, let's go. But it's 70th minute.
But I'd turn over if Oliver McBurney's a big Rangers fan. Like, see, when he played for Swansea, Rangers tabled the bid for 4 million. No, what happened was they inquired about him, and this is the time they just came up, so they couldn't afford the 4 million. But Oliver McBurney says that he would love to join Rangers at some point. So I can see him coming to SPL.
I'm not saying if I support Rangers, Celtic, Aberdeen, Hibs, Hearts, or whomever. I'm just saying it'd be a bad idea.
But with Sheffield, and also playing for Scotland, he's not shown anything special.
No, he's not been that impressive when you look at Snodgrass, who's also came from Livingston, went to West Ham, eventually went to Burnley.
Same with Lee Griffiths, I'm sure.
Wolves. See, he went to Wolves too early. I think he could definitely go back to the Premiership or Championship and do well.
Nah, he's. I think at the moment he's more comfortable in this Scottish because he gets time on the ball and it's 2-2 with Phil. I don't think he'll do good in the Championship anymore. I
don't know if Mitrovic is playing for Fulham, but for me, I honestly love Mitrovic. I don't know why, I just really like him.
I don't rate him that high though.
No, but I like him.
He gets the goals every so often, but
I really like him.
As your main centre forward or whatever, I don't think he's good enough. He's very good in the Championship. Like, he always scores goals in the Championship, but in the English Premier, just not enough. And he gets chances and he gets heats on the ball, but nothing happens.
I really like him. I mean, I'm just hoping that, honestly, this is what I'm saying, I hope that Sheffield United's manager doesn't get sacked at any point in this season.
I don't think, well, he said on the past interview that he spoke with the chairman. The chairman's happy with his job, even though if the worst comes to the worst, he'll still keep his job. But then it could just be the Chelsea owner and sack every manager.
Gundogan, Foden's empty. Pass. Right, Gundogan. Foden is still there. Why would you play there when Foden's empty? Right, come on.
This is awful.
Right, touch. Touch. They're even going to even. So they're basically going to go back to the goalkeeper.
See, if I was Pep Guardiola, I would just be shouting at them because they're not doing anything very quick, and everything they do try.
Right, here's Gabriel Jesus. He wasn't in 6 yard, but it's come out at 6 yard. Honestly, you're probably watching this thinking they're talking rubbish, but nothing is happening when we're talking because it's all midfield. Honestly, that's how bad this game is.
I'm hoping for the Man U getting to be more attacking end to end.
Back to the goalkeeper, back to Ederson. Ederson's like, oh, okay, right. Passes it out to defence, right.
And back to defence.
Back to defence, back to Gundogan. Gundogan back to Sergio, whatever his name is. Defence.
Shevchenko.
No, it's not Shevchenko.
No, I was thinking fucking.
Yeah, but it was Shevchenko.
Yeah.
Foden, he's gone back. Back to Foden, who's almost is basically defending. Foden's gone forward. Beat 1, beat 2, beat 3.
Free kick.
That's going to be a free kick, guy.
Aye. I was about to say, how about we back to just speaking shite?
It's not about speaking shite, it's that we're filling actual stories with something interesting. Because this game is just. I can see it's been 1-1 or 2-1 to Sheffield United. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
No.
So there's Baldock got a yellow card.
I can see this game ending in either 1-0, and it's a very lucky goal, and I wouldn't be happy if I was Man City. Or 1-1.
So Sheffield United beat Man U during the week, and if came to Man City, now I would say they beat Man U on merit, like 100%. They beat Man U deserved. They did not deserve to be down 1-0 against Man City. They played so well. They don't even deserve to be in the relegation. I've been so impressed. Here's McGoldrick. He's drive, you brilliant.
Out to the wing.
Him. Oh mate, why play between 5 guys? And he's lost possession to Man City to Gabriel. He's lost possession to Jesus. Back to Ederson. So we'll just tell our stories because otherwise we're going to end up saying this all the time, which is boring. So we've got 7 minutes. I don't see. I'm hoping that Sheffield can get a draw because they deserve a draw. They do not deserve to be sitting here 1-0 down.
Can you remember when I was younger and I was laughing at him? He
did. Right, so that story is this. Because I remember it because I was older. I'm 11 years older, so I must have been about 13, 14. So there was alcohol in the fridge. Not very often, by the way. Even nowadays, there's no alcohol in my fridge.
You just drink it, you alky bastard.
I drink it. Exactly. There was a couple of half bottles. I think there's only one half bottle open, to be honest. But the boy here would keep walking around the house. Now, you've got to remember that Graham now stays in he's got a downstairs, he's got the front door that's mid-level, and then you've got the upstairs. So back then it was living room, kitchen, mid-level, bedrooms downstairs. So he would walk in the living room to the kitchen, so there was nothing that was that would raise any suspicions. So what Grim did was he went to the kitchen and he opened the fridge door. Again, nothing untoward because there was never usually any alcohol in the house. But he started drinking this beer. And it wasn't until later on we realised that what he was doing was he was going through it every so often and drinking his beer. So he's only 3, I swear he's only 3, and he's drank it. And then we went down to his aunties who we've mentioned earlier, I thought she was so, that I've mentioned earlier, and he's looking at the moon going, ha 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 ha, and absolutely steaming. I'd be like, but again, I know what you're thinking, right? social services, but we had no idea. Oh! United! Oh! That was so close by Fleck! Oh, Fleck, that could have been a goal, you lovely bastard. That would have been beautiful. But yeah, we had no idea that he was going in and doing that. It's like everything else with the kids. You don't really realise or pay attention to what they're doing.
But are you not meant to his child log?
No, you don't really pay attention if it's the same thing you do day in, day out, day in, day out. So all we thought was that you were walking to the kitchen and walking back. We didn't realise that you had an alcohol issue at 3-year-old. So I must have been about 13, 14. So I've got a son and at the time, he hated alcohol. He would never have drank alcohol. But he's like, he drank it. Oh, it's lovely. And I'm not condoning it because it was horrible.
Was that all the time when he was 16, so it was actually kind of age, that he drank some whiskey with you and he was yeah. That was fun.
That's not going about Josh too much because the things he's done to me. But anyway, fucking shorts. But anyway.
No, you got to tell us. You've got to.
I'll tell it later on if anybody's watching.
You've got to.
If anybody's watching, I'll tell it later on.
No.
No, there's nobody else watching it. If anybody's watching it later on and I get 100,000 likes, I'll tell a story.
Oh, that's a good story.
Good story.
Like, that is a good story.
That is an amazing story. McGoldrick, right, he fucked that up. He's trying to clear it. He's trying to get it. Sorry. He's trying to get it in the box, and he's absolutely ruined it. Back to the goalkeeper. I honestly don't see why. What time's it? A wee bit of a kick off 5.
What?
Man, yeah.
No, half 5.
Half 5. That's fine then. Right, McGoldrick! To Fleck.
I think.
In the box! Oh, first time, mate, first time! Don't take. Oh, right. Oh, he's fucked it. Oh, a shot!
I'll make you shit yourself. It's already kicked off.
Oh, you're right. I've not even set up yet for my new game. Here's Fleck looking.
Half 5.
Half 5, that's fine. I'll get it sorted. Edison's got the ball. See that tattoo, by the way?
Wait there.
Behind his ear.
I just want to update this. We don't commentate much Scottish football because it's fucking awful. But Celtic's getting beat up for sitting on 2-1. Look at that.
Get that cunt to fuck.
So they've got 5 minutes to score. How the fuck could you get beat?
Get that cunt to fuck. Gabriel Jesus.
So
Foden, Jesus, put it in the box. Nah, they were just looking at the corner flag.
Come on, urgency.
No, they're winning 1-0. They're thinking, oh, we've done it. Oh, he's dived. He has dived. Oh, come on, Jesus. Mate. Nah. Right.
See, I'll just go top again because there's nothing happening.
There is nothing happening, right? If you're watching this game and you're thinking, why are you not commenting on the game? We are. If we see anything that's relevant, we will say. Otherwise, there's nothing happening. Right? Honestly, we're not just talking about it because there's nothing happening. Anything we said, they've been close. That is when. Other than that, it's been pass. In midfield, it's went nowhere.
But I was going to say, see where Gabriel has Jesus celebration, remember he used to go at that? This is well documented, it's nothing new. But it was reported, but it's not true to my knowledge, that used to mean that because his girlfriend never came with him to the English Premier or some shit like that.
Floating off.
And then they broke up and she went with somebody else. Not
Did you?
I remember it's not true. It was just only reported, and that call used to be like that. That's why I used to say that.
Is that what it is?
But obviously that wasn't to be true. The truth behind that was that his mum used to phone him every match and criticising what he's doing.
So wait there. There's 5 minutes added time, and the Sheffield United manager has been up to the official 5 minutes, and he's went, yes, and he's went, oh, thank you. How is it 5 minutes?
Fergie.
Oh, there's Fergie, then there's taking your piss. There's no 5 minutes in this.
Well, remember, Foden did go down for ages.
The Goldrick. It's a bad.
Well, I'm going first because there's nothing happening in this, and to be honest, peace out. Have fun trying to commentate for this 4 minutes because it's awful.
There's nothing happening in this game at all. Fernandinho was like, oh, there's nothing happening. So, there's 4 minutes to go. Crystal Palace, 89th minute, still beating Wolves 1-0. And the Wolves manager did donate £250,000 to a local charity. Corner kick! Why are you begging? Corner kick to Man City. Bruv, why is he begging? Oh, well, to be fair, that was a handball. That could have been a penalty. Look! That was a penalty. And then the Man City players begging.
I'll try and speed this up by bringing my dog.
Yeah, you can introduce the dog.
That's my husky. See, I wasn't joking. I have got a husky. Oh, he's a good boy. Come on. So there's, nothing's happening. Come on. Come on, you back. Look at the camera. So here's Sheffield actually. Come on. Oh, I think Burnley with her head. Shoot! You've got fucking 3 minutes. Come on, shoot. So Man City's on the counter attack. 2 centre backs for Sheffield, and Gabriel Jesus, what a save! Ramsdale keeps Sheffield into the game. That was actually offside, surely. Fuck. Okay. He's watching you.
I've got news.
Tell me the news, because you should have thought that. See that save for Ramsdale? It was a good save.
I've got news.
Gabriel has
Jesus. Manchester City news I just got from a reliable source. Man City are closing in on 2 deals for 2 highly rated Fluminense teenagers.
Yeah, I've seen that.
One who's compared to Neymar, and one that is compared to Pogba. So we'll see if these players actually come to fruition. Thank you, John. You know who you are.
Come on.
Come on! You've got 1 minute. 1 minute to get equaliser. I don't honestly see for this game. Sheffield United are probably going to get beat, but I do not think any team deserves to win or get beat.
No. Did you fart again?
No. But I don't see any team to get beat.
I drank my dog, but it's a camera.
Apologies.
So. Oh, wait. Let's see if we get the final laugh actually, because we had 5 minutes.
Surprise, apple juice.
Zurich's still getting beat.
Sorry, we're Hibs fans.
Just anyone that's betting is Celtic.
Any fucking bloody fuck's sake. I need to go through to fucking C. Martin, winning right now.
But that's that.
So that's final. So the next game is Man United versus
Arsenal. And we'll be
see
starting that soon. So
Soon.
come on.
Thank you. Subscribe, like,